In this video, we will discuss the differences between shaping and planing operation, or the differences between shaper and planer machine. So the very first difference, shaping is one machining operation where workpiece is held stationary while the cutting tool, that is ram, is reciprocated across the work. So here you can see the shaper machine. So this is nothing but the table of the shaper machine. Here you have to fix the workpiece, and this is the tool post where you can fix the cutting tool. So the cutting tool reciprocates across the workpiece to remove the material from the surface of the workpiece. So here the reciprocating motion is given to the cutting tool. Now the planing machine. Planing is similar machining operation, but here the cutting tool remains stationary while the workpiece is reciprocated under the cutter. So here you can see the planer machine. Now this is a table of the planer machine, and this is the tool post of a planer machine. So here you have to fix the cutting tool, and here you can fix the workpiece. Now the major difference in between shaper and planer is the planer have reciprocating motion to the workpiece. So here the table reciprocates, whereas in shaper machine the cutting tool reciprocates. So in planer machine the table reciprocates, whereas the cutting tool remains stationary. Next point, workpiece imparts feed motion while cutting tool gives cutting motion. So here you can see the shaper machine. So here you can fix your workpiece over the table of the shaper machine, and here you can fix the cutting tool. Now after first cut, the feed is given with the help of the table. Okay, so after first cut the feed is given, then the cutting tool again reciprocates, it removes the material from the workpiece. Again the feed is given with the help of table, so the table can move along this axis. So this is the arrangement for moving the table horizontally along this axis. So the feed is given by the table. Now the planing machine. Workpiece imparts cutting motion while cutting tool gives feed motion. So here you can see, now over the planer machine you can fix the workpiece over here and cutting tool over here. So after the first cut, the feed is given to the cutting tool, because here the workpiece is a reciprocating member. It can only reciprocates along this axis. It cannot move along this axis. Okay, your workpiece cannot move along this axis. It can only reciprocates along this axis, right? So in this case the cutting tool gives the feed motion. Here you can fix the cutting tool, and your cutting tool can move along this axis with the help of this arrangement. So the cutting tool gives the feed motion, whereas the reciprocating motion is given by the table. Next point, shaping operation is performed in a machine tool called shaper, also called as shaping machine. So as we have already discussed, the shaping operation is performed on a shaper machine. Now the planing. Planing operation is performed in a machine tool called as planer, also called as planing machine. So the planing operation is performed over a machine which is known as the planer machine. Next point, for shaping, here quick return mechanism is integrated with the ram that holds the cutter. So shaping machine uses quick return mechanism for tool movement. Now here you can see the shaper machine. So the cutting action is performed only during forward stroke, and no cutting action is performed during the reverse stroke. So the reverse stroke is an idle stroke. So we have to minimize the time for the idle stroke, and that can be done with the help of quick return motion mechanism. Okay, as there is no cutting during the reverse stroke, so we have to complete that stroke in a least possible time, and that can be done with the help of quick return motion mechanism. So here the quick return motion mechanism is attached to the cutting tool. That means it is attached to the ram and ultimately to the cutting tool. Okay, so here quick return mechanism is integrated with the ram that holds the cutter. So shaping machine uses quick return mechanism for tool movement. Okay, so in shaping machine we are using the quick return motion mechanism for the cutting tool. Now the planing. Here quick return mechanism is integrated with the work table that holds the workpiece. So planing machine uses quick return mechanism for work table movement. So here you can see the planing machine. Now in planing machine also, the cutting action is performed only during forward stroke and no cutting is performed during return stroke, right? So again we have to minimize the time for the return stroke, and it is done again with the help of quick return motion mechanism. But here the difference is, as we are giving reciprocating motion to the table, so your quick return motion mechanism is integrated with the table of the machine in case of planer machine. Next point, shaper is traditionally a small machine and preferred for a smaller job. So here you can compare the two different machines, that is shaper and planer. So shaper is comparatively a smaller machine as compared to planer machine. Here you can see the two different machine. So as compared to planer machine, the shaper is a smaller machine and it is preferred for a smaller jobs because it is having a small table and we can fix only one cutting tool over here. So the shaper machine is preferred for a smaller job. Now the planer is larger machine and can accommodate heavier and larger job. So here you can see the planer machine, which is comparatively large to the shaper machine, and it is basically used for the heavy jobs. Okay, so as it is having a very large table, so we can fix a long job over that table because it can accommodate the heavier and larger jobs. Next point, it provides low material removal rate, thus shaping is less productive. So here, as the table of this machine is very small, so ultimately it affects the material removal rate because we can fix a small job over this machine. Again, we can fix only one cutting tool over here, and that reduces the material removal rate of the shaper machine. Okay, so the shaper machine provides low material removal rate, thus shaping is less productive. Now the planer has longer stroke length and can take heavy cuts, so material removal rate is high and the operation is productive. So here you can see we can fix a large job over this table. So the planer machine has a longer stroke because it is having a long table, and it can be used for heavy cuts also because it's a bulky and heavy machine. Okay, and that makes it material removal rate more as compared to your shaper machine, and hence it is more productive as compared to shaper machine. Now the next point, only one cutting tool can be used at a time. So here you can see the shaper machine. This is your shaper machine. So you can fix only one cutting tool over here. So here you have to fix a single point cutting tool, and with which you can remove the material from the surface of the workpiece. So we can fix only one cutting tool over here in case of shaper machine. Now the planer, facility to accommodate multiple tools and simultaneous using of all them is also available in some planing machine. So here I have added an image of planer machine which is having over which we can fix two different cutting tools. So this is nothing but the tool post. So here you can fix your first cutting tool, and here you can fix the second cutting tool, right? So there are few machines, there are few planer machines on which you can fix 2 or 3 cutting tools, right? And it ultimately increases the productivity of that machine. So this is a table where you can fix the workpiece, and the table will have a reciprocating motion, and the feed motion is given with the help of these cutting tools. And here you can fix the 2 different cutting tools for removing the material from the surface of the workpiece. So this is the difference in between shaping and planing. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.